What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Enjoy Your Life, the podcast. I'm your host, Farrah LaRae Wynn, and tonight we are going to be paying a special tribute to one of my best friends of all time, Miss Oniqua, Nikki Phillip. She passed away in August of 2016, and she came into my life and just left an amazing impact on it. And I want to share with you guys the type of person that she was. Originally, we were going to talk about how to be a good friend with one of my best friends, Tiana. But unfortunately, she's not being such a good friend right now because she flaked on my podcast. Just kidding. But life gets in the way. Life happens. And she and I will be doing a podcast with each other in the near future. But as of right now, shout out to you, Tiana. I'm sorry that you couldn't be here tonight. So, I actually was supposed to release this very podcast at the beginning of August. As you know, throughout the month of August, we've been paying a tribute to Nikki, by talking about friendship. And, I was supposed to do a tribute to her the very first Thursday of this month, but I was sick and I didn't have a voice at all. So I couldn't speak, couldn't do the podcast. Prior to that, I did try to do the podcast, but I just got really emotional and I couldn't finish it. And so, then after that I got sick and then, I just moved on to the next topics and I was just like, okay, whatever. I just won't do it then. And now here Tiana is telling me she can't do the podcast because of, different things that are going on, school and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, God, fine. You want me to do the tribute? I'll do the tribute. So here we are doing this tribute. And I will say, honestly, I have tried to do this probably a total of 10 times. And it's hard. Number one, I either get really emotional and then I'm just like, nah, can't do this. Or I feel like I'm talking too much and I just want to stop talking because there's so much to say about this girl, you guys. Oh my gosh. Nikki was just amazing. Changed my life and I can't even explain it. I am writing a book about our friendship and about the type of person that she was and the mark that she left in the earth. If everything works out well, the book will be released next year, 2018. It has been a struggle to write. It's an emotional roller coaster. But I think it's like a good movie where you laugh, you cry, you get angry. It takes you through all of those emotions. And I was talking to someone yesterday. I said, I don't know if maybe I experienced those emotions because it's my story or if it's going to affect everyone like that. But I guess we'll have to find out. And hopefully you'll pick up the book when I release it. But I'm going to see what I can get out tonight as a tribute to Nikki because, like I said, there's so much to say about her and so much to say about our friendship and all that we went through together. But I guess I can give you guys a little backstory tonight just on how we met and how we got so close. So about 5 years ago, prior to that, I think 6 years ago, I met her boyfriend. And at the time they weren't dating. And a year later, they actually started dating and he introduced me to her. And they started dating and then a year later, he introduced me to her. And they just found out she was pregnant and things like that. And they lived in New York and I lived in Reno, Nevada, which is an 8-hour drive north of Las Vegas. So I live in Las Vegas now, but at the time I lived in Reno. And I actually met her on Uvu because her boyfriend Uvu'd me one day and he's like, hey, I'm going to be a father. And I was like, yeah, right. Save it, bro. Why are you lying to me? And he's like, no, really? My girlfriend, she's sitting in the living room. Her name is Nikki. She's this and that. And I'm like, yeah, right. Telling me she just graduated. She has her degree. She's all this stuff, this amazing stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. So he walks into his living room and shows on Uvu. And he's like, see, that's her. I was like, nah, you got to be a cousin or something. He's lying. And she's cracking up. And she's like, yo, she's cracking up. Wow, this girl is tripping. No, I'm not his cousin. I'm actually his girlfriend. And I was like, you got to be out of your mind. Who would be with him, and that's the relationship he and I have. We make fun of each other and things like that. So I was like, who would be with him? And she's just laughing. And he was like, yo, you guys need each other. You guys should be friends and all this stuff. And so we get each other's phone numbers and then we just start talking. And from that day on, it was just that was it. We were inseparable. And, we talked all the time. We mostly FaceTimed and sometimes we would text, if we were at work or if I was at church or something, or I'm in a meeting, or we couldn't necessarily speak on FaceTime, we would be texting, but it was very, very seldom that we did text. But yeah, we were always on FaceTime and we just kind of fell. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but like when someone says the term like falling in love, they say it's because you literally just fall. Like, it wasn't planned, it wasn't thought through, like you just fell. And that's how I felt it was with us. Like, we just fell. Like, we didn't plan to be such close friends. We didn't plan to become somewhat sisters. We didn't plan any of that. We just went from one day to the next and just talked and just enjoyed ourselves with each other. Like, she would tell me things, I would tell her things. We would advise each other. We were there for each other, and she came into my life, and it just became the most amazing thing. And I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast, but like I said, there's so much to cover. You just have to get the book, because I'm literally going to try and just dump everything into the book, because there's not enough time in the day for me to sit here and tell you guys every little part of, number one, the type of person she was, and number two, the friendship that we had. Like, there's not enough time. Like, you need to sit down and take your time and really like get a hold of it. So, it'll be in the book. But, yeah, she just came into my life and made it beautiful. She taught me a lot of things, even without telling me those things. So certain things I learned because of the life that she lived, or the way that she was. So one thing that I took away from her in particular is the way she treated people. So Nikki was like, she just, no respective person, you guys. So she would treat me the same way she would treat a homeless person. She would treat that homeless person the same way she treats a celebrity she bumps into at the mall. She would treat that celebrity the same way she treated the delivery guy. Like, no matter who you were or what you did for work or how much money you made, she just treated everyone the same. Like, she was down. If she was down for you, she was down for you. Like, if she liked you, she liked you. She had your back, she had your back. Like, she did not care, like, about anything. And she would tell it like it was. If she saw a little boy or a young guy walking down the street, yo, you need to pull up your pants. Your moms didn't raise you like that. I'm like, yo, you don't even know this kid. Like, you need to get off his back. She's like, well, he needs to pull up his pants. Like, she looked out for everyone. And it was just so a lot of the times it was hilarious the way she did, but she looked out for everyone. And it was amazing to see. There was one instance in particular that I actually write about in the book in depth, but, she ordered Chinese or something, and we were on FaceTime, and the delivery man comes, and it's snowing, like snowing. There's like snow on the ground. It's sticking, everything. He comes to the door, and she comes and opens it, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna go grab some money. So I made the comment, like, why wouldn't you grab money before you came down here, you weirdo? But okay. So she props the phone up like by the door. I don't know if I was on a chair or what. She props the phone up and says, I'm gonna leave you here in case something happens, you could scream. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? If I scream, the man can hang up the phone, invade your house, take your stuff. Like, what am I going to do? So I'm laughing. I'm like, okay. I was like, sorry, she's a little crazy, whatever. So he's laughing. He's standing there in the doorway. And she comes back and she grabs the man by his arm and pulls him in the house and says, why are you standing out there? It's cold. You're going to get sick. And I'm dying laughing because I'm like, how are you going to get upset with this man? You didn't really invite him in your house. You left him in the doorway. That's the place that you left him. Out of respect for your house, the man's going to stay there. He's just the delivery guy. And so I was like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, she's a little out of her mind. I was like, what did you want him to do? Just walk in your house? And she was like, oh, yeah. And we all started cracking up. We had a good laugh after that. But I'm just like, really? But it just went to show, like, she was concerned with his health. Like, she's like, you're going to get sick. Why are you standing in the cold? Like, it's snowing outside. And she's like, just get in here. And so a lot of, like, she would do things like that. That just showed me, like, her love for people was so deep and sincere. Sometimes she wouldn't even think twice. Like, she would just look out for people. And I loved that. And it taught me how to be that way. Like, just look out for people and have people's back. And even if people don't like you, even if people don't have your back, like, you can still, like, care for people. And not to say that I didn't before, but she just showed me, like, in a whole nother light. And so, like, just the way that she lived, the type of mother that she was, you guys, she loved her son. She would often refer to him as the realest one on her team. And I'm like, yo, he can't even talk. He can't even have your back. He don't even like you. And she's like, nah, he's the realest one on my team. Like, he got me. If nobody got me, he got me. And I'm just like, are you serious? But she loved that boy. She treated him like Like, he was a grown man, like, with respect, with love. Like, she took care of him. He never had to want for anything. She always made sure he was good. Like, she was just an amazing mother, an amazing daughter, an amazing friend, an amazing student, amazing at everything. And it was effortless. It wasn't like she was going around like, ooh, how can I make people think I'm great? She was just living her life. She always looked to better herself, she was always sending me pictures like, oh, we need to try this diet. Oh, we need to do this weight loss plan. Oh, here's a challenge. Here's our goal. Like, you know, cause we would always do things like that together. Like, okay, we're going to go 7 days without this, and this, like bread and the different things or whatever, and sugar, candies, like sweet stuff like that. Like, we would do little challenges or, you know, start workout plans. And even though we're on two opposite sides of the country, she was one of the best friends I had. Like, I didn't understand it. She didn't understand it, but we didn't question it. We just went with it. And I love it. I miss her. I miss talking to her. I miss hearing her creepy little laugh. I miss her advice. I miss the way she looked at life. She was a planner. She always planned everything. She's like, okay, so for my birthday, we're going to go here. I need to save this much money by this time, and we can book this. And I'm just like, yo, chill out. Like, her birthday's in January. It would be like May. And she's like, okay, here's what we got to do. Like, always planning for something, always looking to the future, always trying to make sure everybody's good, always trying to make sure she's good. She's happy. Her family's happy. People are fed. Like, she looked out for everyone, and she taught me so much. Like I said, I can't even cover everything in this 15 minutes because she's just too much. She's too much. Too beautiful, too strong, too exciting, too happy, too much for me to even talk about in this small podcast. Like, I love her and I miss her, and I'm grateful that God brought her into my life, because although she's gone now, she changed my life forever. I'll never forget her. I'll never forget the things that she taught me. I'll never forget the way that she had my back. And y'all, she had my back. Do you hear me? You'll find out. Like I said, get the book, because there's a lot of backstory to some things you guys need to understand. So you need to check that out. 2018, it's coming. But this was a tribute. I hope I did it justice. I don't even know. At this point, I don't even care, because I'm trying not to get emotional like that. But this one was for my sweetheart, my best friend, my boo, my sister, Oniqua, Nikki, Phillip. And I also would like to dedicate this to her mother, Miss Novella, my love. I love you so much. You did an amazing job. Thank you for raising such a strong, confident, amazing woman who not only touched my life, but she touched the lives of the people connected to her and the people connected to those people. Like, she literally impacted thousands of lives, if not millions. There's people who never even knew her, but found out about her story after she passed away, and like researched her and like tried to get as much info on her as they could, and found out like what type of person she was. Like, people who never met her, myself included, who like, she changed their life, mommy. And thank you so much for just letting her be herself. Thank you for letting her live her life to the fullest. Thank you for never holding her back and just letting her be all that God wanted her to be. Because yes, she's gone, which doesn't even sound right or feel real, but her legacy is going to live on forever, because like, she was that powerful. Like, her spirit was strong, and it's going to live on through all of us. Definitely. So I love you, and I love my baby. I love the family. I love everyone, and I will definitely be seeing all of you soon. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Enjoy Your Life, the podcast. Tune in next week. We're going to be talking about salvation, okay? So young Christians, you need to tune into this. We have a lot of amazing guests and a lot of awesome topics. But this concludes the month of friendship for Enjoy Your Life. And Nikki, this one was for you. I love you, and God loves you. God bless. That's the show.